Hi there, welcome back to the Ginescast. I'm your host, Gina.annunziato. Thank you so much for joining me. By the time you hear this, the entire political landscape of the United States has changed. Or maybe not. I'm not even sure right now. Frankly, I don't even care. But I know that some people do. So I have some thoughts to offer about how to handle things going forward until we get to do this all again on a much grander scale in 2020. So this is going to be a quick one. It's been a very, very busy couple weeks. But I do have some great stuff lined up in the coming weeks, and I hope you'll stick around and enjoy it with me. So with that, please sit back and enjoy the Ginescast number 26, Listening Past the Noise. Is it safe to come out? Did we survive? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I'm really glad because, the blue wave happened. Or the red one happened. Or maybe nothing really happened, just the election happened. Maybe nothing devastating is about to happen. And maybe all this fear-mongering into our brains as the quote-unquote most important election of our lifetime is all just a load of bullshit. Yeah, let's go with that. That's what makes me happy anyway. Maybe it's just the industry that I'm in, but Lord Almighty, have I been completely out of the midterm loop. Obviously, I know that they happened, and I know that there are very, very important races that occurred, but it was a real treat for me to realize just how much I was able to zone everything out. When you're concerned about timing, both in a news producerial sense and a sense about yourself, you start to understand that there's things you can pay attention to, things you can't pay attention to, and things that you should or should not pay attention to. Everyone in this 2018 election cycle made it seem like they knew what was best for you. They somehow got that authority and held on to it. They knew that by voting the way that they wanted you to vote, that you'd fulfill everything you need in life. But what is that about? How can anyone actually know that about another person? Everyone seemed so dependent on everyone else to get the job done that they just stopped listening to all the stuff falling out of their own mouths. And that's how you produce hot takes on Twitter.com. Most people, I think, are full of shit. I've said this, I've maintained this. I realize that only this year. And believe me, things have gotten a lot easier for me mentally once I figured this out. So I don't trust people who think that they know what's best for me. I've somehow learned to tune out what I really need to. In this midterm season, we ran a ton of sound bites from President Trump during his rally blitz, especially within the last 2 weeks. We'd come in the morning meeting and go over some of his quote-unquote best bites. And honestly, I couldn't even tell you what he said. We've just been so oversaturated in this news world with things that Trump said the day before that none of it even matters to me anymore. I get it. I'm supposed to care about what the president said, okay? Yeah, I get it. Don't worry. I just think that we're putting stock into words, but only certain people's words. And some people's words are by default spicier than another person's. Why? Why is this? This kind of feels like a singular problem, and I know that the world does not revolve around me, and I know that I'm not the only one who feels this way, I hope. There are people in our lives who we care about more than others, and that's fine. Because even people you truly care about more than anything get sometimes tuned out by our stubbornness. It happens from time to time. When discussing certain thoughts, my dad recently said, if you forget about it, then you don't need it right there in that moment. And it's very helpful when your mom is dealing with some memory issues. And it's very comforting too. I believe in this society where news flies at you a mile a minute, or a mile a second rather, we're almost expected to care about it all. Like every story that crosses the wires, we're supposed to care about it. Why? Because you have a media that exists both online and off that beats into your head how important something is. Even if they don't outright say that the thing is important, we're treated to inflamed rhetoric and stinging words to emphasize just how serious I am about this certain issue. Or else why would I say derogatory thing, I say, no more of this. I can't listen to it anymore. It is so not good for me to do it anymore. I just get too angry. I don't need to pay attention to the iHeartRadio ad I heard in the lift over here that said we should stop seeing voting as a choice. It should be a mandate. Yeah, no need to get mad at that. No. I'm clearly unbothered by it, which is why I'm telling you about it right now. Yeah, sometimes even I don't take heed of what I say. In all seriousness, I think more often than not, we purposefully pay attention to things that make us angry, or upset, or cringe. I guess it's fun to think that you're above all the nonsense and noise that you are actively listening to. But are you? If you're willingly subjecting it to yourself, I mean. Is that rising above things? Are you better than the quote-unquote haters that you just never stop mentioning? Are you better than the trolls that you think are just Russian bots in your mentions? Are you better than those snowflakes that you seek out to make fun of? Or do you think you're maybe just stepping on a landmine that you've created for yourself? There's just too much noise and not enough silence lately. Everyone is just talking. And it's fun to talk. But I think it's more fun to talk with the right people. And that's really hard to find when literally the entire internet is only highlighting the bad people you're supposed to be hyper aware of. Oh, and what's that saying? If you're not angry, you're not paying attention? I could use about, let's say, 1,000% less talking points in my life and start focusing on actual discussions. And it's coming. I just feel that it is. Something is about to happen, y'all. We've shed yet another layer with this 2018 election. And whether or not you like to see it in this way, I think America is really at the heart of a lot of what's going on in the world. America is still a relatively young nation, but boy are we loud, and boy do we like attention. That's why Americans are just silly people. We're this big melting pot that somehow learned to coexist, but all the while, we are screaming at the rest of the world, telling them how not good we are at coexisting. It's really bizarre. But we're gonna see something special happening soon. That's my hope anyway, that's my prediction. Lots of things are cracking the surface, shattering the comfortable little mold we've placed over all 50 states over here. We've had enough yelling. Our voices are starting to give out and crackle and crack. And so what happens when you cannot scream anymore? You go silent. You rest your voice. You open your ears. Instead, you use another sense. You let others who've been patient and lying in wait, you let them have their turn. And I promise, dear listener, if you're open to it, the buoys that have been staying afloat in this sea of noise will become far clearer to spot from the bow of your ship. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Ginescast. I have no idea how the election's going to turn out. I really don't know. So it'll be interesting to see this cast as opposed to what happened in the midterms. I have some interviews lined up, and I'm reaching out to other people, hoping that they can lock something down with me. I'm very excited to bring you this because I really just like having conversations with people. I really think that me interviewing someone just turns into a nice conversation that people need to hear, is what I'm saying. I know this is a little itty-bitty podcast, but I'm having fun here, and I hope you're having fun listening. I want to expand out. I know I say this all the time, but I am uploading on SoundCloud. The same episodes are being uploaded. I'm going to do them, I think, a little bit earlier than this one. So if you want to go over there, get a little sneak preview over here, then they'll be uploaded on SoundCloud first and foremost. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep having fun and keep trying to figure everything out, I guess. The Ginescast comes out every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like this cast, please give it a like, please leave me a comment below, or share it with someone that you think would like it. If you want more from me, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud at HelloGines, or shoot me an email at gina.annunziato@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Ginescast. I'm your host, Gina Annunziato, and I'll see you next time. Take care.